Girl, it is June. We are officially halfway through the year. And I know exactly what some of y'all are doing right now, because I did it too. You're looking back at the goals you set in January, and you feeling that little drop in your stomach. The gym membership you used twice. The morning routine that lasted 9 days or less. The version of you that you promised you become this year, who somehow still hasn't shown up. And the story you're telling yourself is, I'm behind now. I missed it. Maybe next year. But see, I need you to stop right there. Because that story is a lie, girl. And it's the most expensive lie you'll tell yourself all year. Girl, you are not behind. You are standing on 6 months of real information about yourself. You know what actually works for you and what was just a nice idea. You know what you keep avoiding. You know which goals were really yours and which ones you borrowed from someone else's highlight reel. Girl, that is not failure. That is data. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it. Not to start over, but to start smarter, with half a year still completely in your hands. Now, if you're returning, welcome back. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, girl, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Let's get into it. Let's start with why a June reset is actually more powerful than a January reset. Because I believe we've all been sold this idea that January 1st is the magic day, and everything before it doesn't count, and everything after it is destiny. And that's just not true. Here's the problem with New Year's resolutions. You set them in the darkest, coldest, most exhausted week of the entire year. Right after the holidays, when you're running on sugar, zero sleep, and a little bit of guilt. And you set them based on a fantasy. You imagine a version of your life that has no real evidence behind it. You don't actually know yet whether you'll wake up at 5 a.m. You just hope you will. So you're building on hope. A mid-year reset is the opposite. You're not building on hope. You're building on proof. You've lived through the 6 months. You already know your real energy. You know that you are not in fact a 5 a.m. person. Or maybe you've discovered that you absolutely are. You know which habits stuck and which ones fell apart the second life got busy. You're not guessing about yourself anymore. You're working with the real woman, not the imaginary one. And there's something so freeing about renewing in the middle. There's no big cultural pressure in June, you know? Girl, ain't nobody watching you in June. No countdown, no champagne, no performance. It's just you quietly deciding to change. Which is exactly how the realest changes tend to happen anyway. So I want you to drop the idea that you wasted the first half of the year. You did not waste it. You researched it. Now let's use what you found. And this is actually a perfect moment to tell you about something I've been looking into. Because a big part of working with your real patterns is understanding what's actually going on inside your body. I've been learning more about my hormones lately. And honestly, I had no idea how much they affect everything. My mood, my energy, how I respond to stress, how I move through my cycle. So I've been using Mirror. It's a hormone monitor that tracks 4 fertility hormones at once at home. Your FSH, E3G, PDG, and LH. Key reproductive hormones that reflect estrogen rise and ovulation timing. And it doesn't just give you a positive or negative in terms of ovulation confirmation. It helps better understand your menstrual cycle, fertile window, and overall reproductive health. It builds your personal hormone picture over time. So you're not guessing, you're actually seeing your patterns. Over 300,000 women have used it. It's FDA registered, and the accuracy is up to 99.5%, which for something you're doing at home is kind of wild. Whether you're trying to conceive, curious about your hormone patterns as you're entering perimenopause, or just want to understand your body better, Mirror is genuinely worth looking into. The link is in my description, and you can use my code TiffanyM to save 25% off Mirror kits. There's also a QR code on the screen right now. If you want to go straight there, US viewers, you can check out with your FSA or HSA card at checkout. Now, step 1 of the reset is the Honest Audit. Now, this is not the part where you sit down and you list everything you did badly. We are not doing a guilt inventory. We're doing an honest one. So get you a piece of paper, and I want you to answer 3 questions about the first half of your year. First, what drained you? What were the things, the people, the commitments, and the habits that consistently left me with less than I started with? Be specific now. Don't just write stress. Write the actual thing. The Sunday night doom scroll. Saying yes to plans when I didn't want to. Second, what lit me up? When did you feel most like yourself in the last 6 months? What were you doing? Who were you with? What time of day was it? We skip this question all the time. And it's the most important one because your reset should have more of this in it, not just less of the bad. And third, and this is the hard one, what did I keep avoiding? And you know the answer to this already. There's something you've been circling for 6 months. The appointment you won't make. That conversation you won't have. The project you keep almost starting. Just write it down. You don't have to fix it yet. You just gotta stop pretending you don't see it. Sit with those 3 answers for a second because that page in front of you is the most accurate map of your life you've made all year. Most people never look this directly, and you just did. Now I want to go one level deeper. There is a version of you that didn't show up in the first half of this year. And I mean it as an honest observation because there's one for all of us. There's a place where you held yourself back, where you stayed quiet or you stayed safe. Instead of going for what you actually wanted, where you settled for the okay relationship, the okay routine, the okay version of a dream. Because reaching for the real one felt a little intimidating. It felt like too much. And don't beat yourself up about that. Just name it. Because here's the thing about patterns we won't look at. You cannot change what you won't admit. As long as it stays vague, as long as it's just a bad feeling that you push down, it runs your life from the background. The second you name it out loud or you put it on paper, in plain words, it loses most of its power. So finish this sentence for me. The place I kept shrinking this year was blank. Maybe it's I kept letting people talk over me at work. Maybe it's I kept abandoning myself in that relationship. Or maybe it's I kept saying I'd start when, and the when never came. Whatever it is, write it down without sugarcoating it. You cannot invite a stronger version of yourself into the next half of this year if you won't be honest about where the smaller version got stuck. Naming it is how you make room for her. Okay, now we shift from looking back to building forward. And this right here is where most resets fall apart. When we reset, the instinct is to fix everything at once. New diet, new budget, new morning routine, new boundaries, new everything, starting Monday. And I get the energy behind it, but trying to change 5 areas of your life at the same time is the single fastest way to change 0 of them. You spread your willpower so thin that none of it holds. So we're not gonna do 5. We're gonna do 1. I want you to look back at that audit page and choose the single area that, if it got better, would make everything else easier. The one domino that knocks down the rest. For a lot of you, that domino is your health, your sleep, your energy. Because when that's handled, you have the capacity to handle everything else. For some of you, it's your finances. Because the money stress is bleeding into every other decision that you make. For others, it's one relationship, or one boundary, or one habit that's quietly poisoning your day. There's no wrong answer, but there is one answer. Pick it, circle it. That is your reset focus for the rest of this year. Everything we build from here, we build around that one thing. Not because the other areas don't matter, but because this is how change actually compounds. You win in one area, you build self-trust, and that self-trust spills into the next. One real win beats 5 half attempts every single time. Okay, now that you've got your one area, let's give it a destination. Because picking your area isn't enough. You need to know what you're working toward or you won't actually move. So I want you to fast forward to December 31st of this year. And I want you to picture the version of you who spent the second half of this year actually working on this one area. Again, do not keep this vague. Vague does not motivate anybody. Get specific and get sensory. What does her morning look like? How does she feel walking into a room? What is she no longer anxious about? What's different about the way she talks to herself? Write that down in present tense like it's already true. Not, I want to feel calmer about money. Instead, I check my accounts on Sunday without my chest tightening and I know exactly where my money is going. You feel the difference? One is just a wish. The other is a place you can actually walk toward. And here's the part that turns the vision into a plan. You reverse engineer it. Start at that December picture and walk your way backwards. Okay, so if that's who I am on December 31st, who do I need to be by October? And to get there, what has to be true by August? And if August needs that, what's the one move I make this week? You keep working backwards until the whole thing shrinks down to something you can literally do in the next 7 days. And that's how a dream stops being a Sunday and becomes a Tuesday. Now let's talk about the daily level, because the vision lives or dies in the ordinary Tuesdays, not your big motivated Mondays. I want you to choose one small, repeatable thing you do every single day in service of your reset area. And I mean embarrassingly small. If your area is health, maybe it's a 10-minute walk or a glass of water before you drink your coffee. If it's your mindset, maybe you write 3 lines in your journal. If it's money, maybe it's just opening your bank app and looking at one number. We call this your anchor. And here's why it matters more than the size of it suggests. Every single day that you keep a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, you're rebuilding something that probably took a hit in the first half of the year. Self-trust. That quiet foundational belief that when you say you'll do something for yourself, you actually will. Most of us don't have a discipline problem. We have a broken self-trust problem. We've told ourselves we'll change so many times and then didn't, that some part of us stopped believing it. The anchor fixes that one day at a time because it's small enough that you can't talk yourself out of it. You're not trying to transform overnight. You're trying to prove to yourself daily that you're a woman who keeps her word. Everything else is built on top of that. Now here's a shift that I think separates the women who actually change from the women who reset every 6 months and end up in the same place. Girl, you gotta reset your standards, not just your goals. Here's the difference. A goal is essentially an event. It's a finish line out there in the future. Lose the weight, hit that financial number, finish the thing. And the problem with living goal to goal is that you're always somewhere you haven't arrived yet, always chasing something. A standard is different. A standard is just who you are on a daily basis, regardless of if you feel like it or not. So instead of, I want to work out 3 times a week, the standard is, I am a woman who moves her body. That's just who I am. So what I'm going to do is work out 3 times a week. Instead of, I'm trying to stop overspending. The standard is, I'm someone who's intentional with my money. You stop negotiating with yourself every single morning because it's not a decision anymore. It's an identity. And that is the real reset. Not the goal on the page, but the upgrade in how you answer the question, who am I? Because you will always eventually return to your standards. So girl, let's raise them. For the rest of this year, I want you to think less about what you want to do and more about the kind of woman you decided to be. Okay, I'm going to tell you something now that I wish somebody had told me before every reset I have ever done, because it would have saved me so much guilt. Girl, the dip is coming, and I'm telling you about it now so it don't take you out later. Here's what happens. Right now today, you real motivated. You feeling it in your soul. You feel good about it. And for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4, that motivation is going to carry you. And then somewhere around week 3 or 4, it's going to evaporate into thin air. Not because you failed, not because something is wrong with you, but because that's just what motivation does. It's a feeling, and feelings don't last. They're not supposed to. So when that day comes, and it will, the day where you do not want to do the thing, where this whole reset feels stupid, and you'd rather just stay on the couch, I need you to remember this moment. That day is not a sign to quit. That day is the entire point. That's the day the change actually gets made. Because anybody can show up when it feels good. And this is why your systems matter more than your mood. Your tiny anchor, your standard, the plan you reverse engineered. Those are what carry you across the dip when the motivation is gone. Discipline is just remembering what you wanted on the days you don't feel like wanting it. So decide right now, while you're strong, that the dip will not win. Now, if you're still with me at this point, I want you to raise your hand right now by dropping this emoji in the comments, so I know who's actually doing this reset with me. We're almost to the end, and this next piece is what keeps the reset from fading out in 3 weeks like every other one did. You need a rhythm to check back in with yourself, because here's how resets usually die. It's not in one dramatic collapse, but in a slow drift. You miss a day, then a few, and there's no moment where you stop and notice. So the drift just becomes the new normal. And by August, you forgot that you ever reset at all. A check-in rhythm catches the drift before it becomes a spiral. So put it on the calendar. Once a month, the first of the month works beautifully. You sit down for 15 minutes and you ask, how am I actually doing on my one area? What's working and what do I need to adjust? And if you've drifted, you do not shame yourself. You just begin again that same day. And if you can, don't do it completely alone. Tell one person what you're working on, a friend or your partner, or just put a note in your phone that you actually look at. We all tend to do better when someone's paying attention. I want you to picture two versions of December 31st. In the first one, you watched this video, you nodded along and it felt good, and then nothing changed. And you arrived at the end of the year exactly where you are right now, telling yourself the same thing, maybe next year. In the second one, you actually started today. You did the audit, you picked just one area, you chose your one tiny anchor. And by December, 6 months of small, consistent choices have stacked up into a woman who feels genuinely different, more grounded and more herself. Both of those versions are real, and both of them are possible. And the only thing standing between them is what you do in the next 24 hours. Not the next 6 months, the next day. So here's what I want you to do the second this video ends. Do not reorganize your whole life. Just do the audit. 3 questions. Pick your one area and choose your tiny anchor. That's it. Because the truth is, a mid-year reset is not a second chance. It's a better chance because you have the data now. You know yourself in a way you didn't know yourself in January. The hardest half is behind you, girl. And the half that's still in your hands is the one where you get to use everything you've learned. Half of this year is gone, yes. But the better half of this year, girl, is yours. Go and become her. Now, if this video gave you even one thing to act on, do me a favor and let me know in the comments which area you're choosing for your reset. And like the video so it reaches another woman who needs a reset right now. And if you're not subscribed yet, please come and join us. This is exactly the kind of work we do here every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.